Welcome to the Austin Toastmasters, the club we finally refer to as the greatest Toastmasters club in the known universe. Woo-hoo! Our little modest and challenging motto.
Brenda was a captain in the Army Signal Corps and is a veteran of Desert Storm. Everybody please welcome Brenda Smull.
In Flanders fields, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow. Loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders field. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch, be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders field. It was with great sadness that this famous World War I poem was written. For on May 2nd, 1915, Canadian Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae witnessed the battlefield death of his young friend, Lieutenant Alexis Helmer. And the following day, while looking out on the war-torn field, this colonel noticed hardy red poppies growing in the field. And these sights inspired him to write this poem. For Colonel McCrae wanted to remember the fallen and give them a voice so they would not be forgotten. This short poem has a great symbolic influence, and the vivid image of this simple red poppy has endured. For me, the month of May is a very important month of remembrance. In a few weeks, we'll celebrate Memorial Day, the commemorative holiday where the United States honors its fallen servicemen and women. May also marks the anniversary of my father's death 5 years ago, also on May 2nd. May is a month where you'll see a number of volunteers handing out these little red poppies. And volunteers are with the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign War, which I'm a member. And they hand these out every year and take donations to gear up for Memorial Day. I'd like to take a moment to tell you how I came to possess these particular red poppies, the ones that are on your table, because it was quite a serendipitous event. Last week, while I was preparing for this speech, I went in search for this elusive red flower. I called around to a number of the VFW posts in the area, and I ended up at the Leander VFW, post 10427. They were very gracious and friendly there, and they welcomed me, and they gave me a handful of poppies to hand out at this meeting tonight. Now, being new to the area, I drove home a different way from Leander. My husband and I, Steve, drove. We meandered out of Leander, headed east, and ended up in Georgetown. Cute little town square, bustling with people and energy. So we go up to the square. What do I see? This big sign. Welcome to the red poppy capital of Texas. What do you know? With my newly acquired poppies in hand, I stumble upon the annual Red Poppy Festival. So what does it mean? What did that event mean? To me, it meant that there are two very important things I need to reinforce: Memorial Day and red poppies. Tonight, I want to share with you some of the special meanings that these symbols and ceremonies have, and how they shaped me and my family generations past. I want to increase awareness of what this is, this tradition, keeping it alive. And lastly, I want to honor and show tribute to my father and to all veterans. My father Bill Nason, was a proud World War II veteran, and he became very active in the VFW in the 1970s. When I was 10 years old, I was thrilled to be crowned and elected the Poppy Queen of the annual VFW Post. They give you this elaborate, homemade crown of poppies, and I got the thrill of riding in a float on the Memorial Day parade in my small hometown of Spotswood, New Jersey. Now, Memorial Day is a big deal in Spotswood, New Jersey. The whole town comes out for the Main Street event. So I was in the parade with my father that year. Memorial Day is a very important holiday overall in my family. Every year, we would solemnly attend these ceremonies of remembrance at the cemetery, where the 21-gun salute and the bugle playing of taps would bring most of us to tears. The color guard would silently march out, present our nation's flag. The men would remove their hats, put their hands over their hearts. The active duty servicemen would salute, and all would humbly respect the most recognizable symbol of our nation. Memorial Day is a very important holiday in my family. Now, I come from a large working class family, and most of my uncles and male cousins served in either World War II, Korea, or Vietnam. In fact, my cousin Richie is soon to be elected the New Jersey State Commander of the VFW. So go Richie. So it was with great patriotic spirit and pride that I enrolled in the ROTC program in college in the 1980s. The ROTC is the Reserve Officer Training Corps, and I was commissioned a lieutenant soon after I graduated college. But I must say I was a bit shocked and surprised when my Fort Hood, Texas Army unit was deployed to Saudi Arabia for Operation Desert Shield in 1990. I was fresh out of college. But put on my best fearless face, and I served my duty as an officer in the 1st Cav Division. Now, during my time away in Saudi Arabia and Iraq, I had wonderful support from my family back home, from the Girl Scouts, from my father's local VFW post. My mother put a yellow ribbon around the front yard tree, and at work, everyone knew me and had yellow ribbons in their workplace. And when I came back, May of 1991, I came home to visit for Memorial Day in New Jersey. My father, as soon as I got there, proudly presented me my very first VFW card. I became a member just like he was. And he beamed to all his friends. I was the first female member in the post in that club. And that year, I got my uniform on and I marched in that parade alongside the other veterans. And I felt a closer bond to those who have lost loved ones on the battlefield. This petite red poppy grabs our attention and reminds us not to forget. Don't forget the fallen and those who have sacrificed. 5 years ago, I took the torch from my father, and I carry on those traditions of remembrance for those who have sacrificed and given their all. Every year, I buy my red poppy and I wear it proudly for my fallen comrades in arms and for my father. For in the fields the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row. I won't break faith with those who have died, in hopes that they shall sleep, as poppies grow in Flanders field.